It's been warm, 50s over the weekend, 61 degrees today. We've been dry for 4 straight days. You know, with all this warm weather, we're eventually going to be getting back to the rain. That's exactly what's happening for us tomorrow and Wednesday. Still in the upper 40s right now in Palmyra, Lebanon County. We can see the showers that will be arriving for tomorrow. A steadier rain later Wednesday. We'll have those details coming up.
A rail camera in Franklin County catches a family taking pictures on the tracks and mere seconds from disaster. That dramatic footage tonight, as well as reminders from train safety experts.
Rise later to shine brighter. What change a Lancaster County School District made for the health of their students.
An emotional send-off to NBA legend Kobe Bryant, including a grieving wife and mother.
Now, live from your local news source, this is ABC27 News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Alicia Richards.
And I'm Dennis Owens. Thanks for joining us. A near disaster caught on camera in Franklin County as a family poses for pictures on railroad tracks.
The video shows the family scattering after one of the kids spots the train barreling down the tracks. Alex Peterson has the video. Alex.
Guys, good evening. This happened yesterday afternoon in Greencastle along the Norfolk Southern tracks. The video taken on a camera owned and operated by Virtual Rail Fan, which owns a network of cameras across the country. Tonight, a train safety advocate says this family is lucky to be alive. An afternoon of pictures and walking along the train tracks in Franklin County soon takes a scary turn. Kids scatter as a man runs onto the tracks grabbing a small child, hurrying back across. Within seconds, the train is there. The video exactly what Brock Kirchner with Operation Lifesaver of PA works to avoid.
You wouldn't stand in the middle of an airport runway with a plane bearing down on you to take a picture, so why would you do it on a railroad track? Walking on the tracks, he says, is illegal and considered trespassing. He says trains to the untrained mind are difficult to track. When you're in front of it, it's extremely hard to hear that train, and if the train's around a corner, you're never going to see it in time. It's actually also an optical illusion. If you do see a train coming, you can't tell how fast it's going. Steel wheels on steel rails are rather quiet at a distance, he says, adding that it takes a 100-car train traveling 55 miles per hour more than a mile to stop. They can blow the horn, they can ring the bell, they can put the brakes on, and that's all they can do in that case. Virtual Rail Fan's camera captured the video. It's one of 6 across Pennsylvania.
We have cameras at the hot spots all over the country, so you can literally tune in and, everything's live. For the fad of doing the photography on the tracks, stuff like that, can go south real quick. And, like I said, that video that proves it right there.
There were split seconds there. If she hadn't seen it when she did, we would have an absolute disaster on our hands.
Yeah, both those experts say you should always expect a train anytime you're near tracks. And don't wear earphones while running or walking near them. They're a huge distraction. Thankfully, in this incident, though, no one was hurt, but still a grave reminder of just how dangerous trains can be. Dennis?
Alex, thank you. New tonight, one person is dead after a motorcycle crashed into a car in Dauphin County. It happened earlier this evening in the 9100 block of Allentown Boulevard in Grantville.
New at 11, Ephrata School District is the latest in a growing trend and one of the first in the mid-state to delay start times for students in the hopes it'll help them get ahead. Sarah Gisrael's back from their board meeting tonight. Sarah.
Yeah, Alicia, I promise it's not some ploy effort teenagers came up with in order to stay in bed longer. The district has been looking into sleep studies for a full year now. Tonight, 8 school board members unanimously voted to move school times across the board back for next school year. Elementary students will only be affected by 5 or 10 minutes, while middle school students will get another 45 minutes, going from a 7:20 to an 8:05 start time. High schoolers will experience a similar change, going from 7:30 to 8:10. Superintendent Brian Troop says an overwhelming amount of research shows that teens cannot fall asleep as early as younger children. And even though change is hard, he was tired of shortchanging students on their sleep.
It does allow the board to really take a stand and say, you know what, while things have existed in a certain way for years, if we know a better way to do things, we're going to take the risk, we're going to be innovative as a board and really adjust our start times to better reflect what science is telling us kids need.
The district had to go through several revisions through the plan to make sure their bus schedule could still work, but they had some help from districts in Delaware County that already went through the shift.
Well, now Troop is ready to be the helper. He says any districts that are looking to change their start times are more than welcome to reach out for him for advice. Alicia?
Sarah, thanks. It was a very bad day on the stock market. The Dow plunged more than 1,000 points. Investors are worried about a coronavirus outbreak and whether it'll weaken global economic growth. This as the number of cases spiked in Italy, Iran, and South Korea. More than 79,000 people around the world are infected. The World Health Organization says this has the potential to become a pandemic.
Hollywood movie producer Harvey Weinstein is guilty of third-degree rape and sexual assault. A New York jury convicted the 67-year-old today after 26 hours of deliberation. He was, however, acquitted of the most serious charge, predatory sexual assault. His sentencing is set for March 11th. Weinstein faces up to 25 years in prison for the sexual assault charge and up to 4 years for rape. He faces similar charges in a case in Los Angeles.
Friends, family, and fans are remembering NBA legend Kobe Bryant. A celebration of his life was held for the Lakers star and his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, at the Staples Center in Los Angeles.
God knew they couldn't be on this earth without each other. He had to bring them home to heaven together. Babe, you take care of our Gigi.
20,000 people attended the service. Teammates and NBA legends were among the speakers, including a tearful Michael Jordan.
He wanted to be the best basketball player that he could be. And as I got to know him, I wanted to be the best big brother that I could be.
Kobe's memorial service comes the same day his wife filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the operator of the helicopter he died in. The suit claims the pilot should not have flown in those cloudy conditions.
Neighbors are helping a Lancaster County family that lost nearly everything in a house fire, including their grandmother and mother. Sabine LaBerriere, also known as Vanessa, her mom, Marie Dorsino, were killed in Saturday night's blaze on Marietta Avenue in West Hempfield Township. LaBerriere's 18-year-old daughter and 12-year-old twins escaped while her husband Paul was at work.
They are our best neighbors, and they were so sweet. Every time I saw Vanessa, she'd yell across the road, and one of us would go to either one's house, and we'd hug and talk and laugh, and she was sweet.
Neighbors are collecting donations for the family, and the West Hempfield Fire Department will hold a benefit March 8th at Trio Bar and Grill. The fire marshal's ruling a fatal apartment fire in Elizabethtown accidental. Officials believe it started in the kitchen last Monday in the 200 block of East High Street. 26-year-old Kelsey Shields died. She was the only one inside at the time. No other injuries were reported.
Police are trying to track down a nighttime prowler in Hamden Township, Cumberland County. Surveillance video shows the person getting close to cars and homes. This person's been spotted along Lambs Gap and Wurtsville roads. A similar incident was reported in October. Police never did catch that suspect. They're not sure if this is the same person.
A construction project will take over part of the Carlisle Pike this week. It's expected to last months. Crews are working to replace 14,000 feet of a water main installed 100 years ago. It's between the 581 bridge in Hamden Township to 32nd Street in Camp Hill. Pennsylvania American Water says this project will improve water quality and service reliability.
Customers should not experience any issues with their water, only when we transfer over the customers to the new water line. And we'll let everyone know 24 hours in advance.
Crews will work from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Sunday through Friday. There will be lane closures. Traffic will move in both directions. Construction starts Wednesday night and will be completed, hopefully, at the end of June.
And coming up tonight, a look at President Trump's trip to India, what kind of crowd turned out, and what he was there for.
And hello, Dillsburg. Another clear but chilly night in the mid-state. Eric's got your full forecast coming up. President Trump is in India visiting the Prime Minister, and a big component of his trip is trade. He arrived today, was greeted by an enthusiastic and large crowd. More than 100,000 people showed up. He thanked them for welcoming him and teased of a potential trade deal, saying he and Narendra Modi have already started talks.
We are in the early stages of discussion. for an incredible trade agreement to reduce barriers of investment between the United States and India. And I am optimistic that working together, the Prime Minister and I can reach a fantastic deal that's good and even great for both of our countries.
President Trump also touted India's economy and infrastructure improvements since Modi took over.
A change to America's immigration policy is now in effect because the Supreme Court lifted an order. It's called the Public Charge Rule because it aims to keep people out who could end up on public assistance. Now, people applying for a green card or a visa will have to meet certain income and education levels, and immigration officials will also look at whether they've used public assistance in their home countries.
The Supreme Court is set to take up a case on whether religious institutions can bar same-sex couples from fostering children. Justice agreed to hear an appeal by a Catholic foster agency. The group argues it's in danger of losing its government contract because it will not certify same-sex couples as foster parents. But the ACLU argues this will impact the more than 4,000 kids in the system.
One thing Bernie Sanders will have to answer for at tomorrow night's Democratic debate is a comment he made that not everything Fidel Castro did was bad. It's a comment that could alienate at least moderate Democrats and certainly Democrats in Florida, a swing state. Michael Bloomberg will also try to rebound after his weak performance last time. Tomorrow night's debate is in South Carolina at 8 p.m.
Meanwhile, Pennsylvania's primary election just 2 months away, and state officials want to make sure you're comfortable with the type of machine you'll be using. A new website informs voters how to use their county's voting machines. All 67 counties are required to have systems that provide paper ballots, but they are not all the same. We'll have a link to that website on ABC27.com.
And coming up on ABC27, keeping young gamers safe. New information on what parents need to know.
You're watching ABC 27 News, your local news source.
It was just another nice mild day.
We said if we can get the entire weekend, including today, you know, in the 50s and 60s, it was really nice. Now, we knew the rain would eventually come back, but nice that it held off at least until tomorrow, which is good. If you had a chance to get outside a little bit earlier this evening, a quiet night, lots of clouds, but still, we were in the 50s. For the last couple of hours, starting to see you now more 40s to be common. But overall, I hope you enjoyed. If it wasn't Saturday, maybe Sunday or today, or perhaps all three. That sun setting a little bit later seems to help a little bit too. We had meteorologist Addis Uklo do a quick tally. Now, we've only had a trace, so we haven't even had measurable snowfall this month. This has only happened 2 other times, 1915 and 1925. We do have snow in the forecast. I don't know if it's enough that it's going to be measurable. I'll explain coming up. All right, so as we look and show you that time lapse of the day, we did have some sunshine to start. Clouds then rolled in. They've been here ever since. That's going to leave us with a mild night. 61, though, for the high today. And notice this morning, 25. This is what I call like Colorado weather, when the air is so dry, you are cold at night. But I tell you what, you can really warm things up during the afternoon. We hit 61, so well above the average. Currently, we are still just shy of 50 degrees across a lot of these sites. But check out Hummelstown and Camp Hill made it to 61. Lebanon and Tuscarora Junior High School in Mifflintown to 60 degrees. So we've got the warm air. That's here. We've got the clouds that are now beginning to move in. Showers will soon be here. This is not a lot of rain. This is not going to be an all-day rain or soaking rain, but it's just enough that it will keep the roads damp pretty much throughout the entire day tomorrow. So we get a few showers to kind of move through in the morning, a few more develop into the afternoon. So you get the picture. We had a much better picture the last couple of days, but we were sort of waiting. This was going to happen eventually. Now Wednesday, we'll actually have more rain, but notice the timing of it. Not until after sunset. So most of your daylight hours on Wednesday will be cloudy. There could be a little mist at times, especially in the morning, but there could be a period of steady, if not heavy rain Wednesday night. That's something that we're watching, because once that clears out, then we're looking at some blustery conditions with some snow squalls possible on Thursday. That's when we're really getting our best chance of maybe seeing some snow showers or a squall. Heading into the weekend, we definitely start off chilly. Notice 35 for Saturday and 40 on Sunday. But off to next week we go, and it seems like this cold air doesn't want to last. That by the time we get into the middle of next week, our first full week of March, we're looking at 40s and 50s again.
Okay. Thanks, Eric.
You bet. Great day to be outside, but Ali Verubi's here to tell us what was going on inside tonight.
Well, a team that battled back from down 20 in the fourth quarter of the semifinals had their backs against the wall in tonight's district championship.
Did your Catholic summon another miracle? Highlights coming up in sports.
Tonight's military hero is James Saylor Jr. of Middletown. He's a Marine and was recently promoted to Master Gunnery Sergeant. We salute you and thank you for your service. New tonight, it used to be parents had to keep a close eye on video games themselves to make sure kids weren't exposed to inappropriate images.
Well, now there's a whole new way kids are playing games, and the dangers are a lot more disturbing. James Crummell reports tonight.
You can play hundreds and thousands of games, and you can create your own world.
8-year-old Elias Goss is obsessed.
He just wanted to play this game and wanted to play it, and he just would sit on the computer. I couldn't even believe how fast his little fingers would move, and he still plays it now.
The game is Roblox.
So Roblox is one of these platforms that allows for user-generated content and gaming.
Still confused?
Roblox is Legos. Is Legos a game? Not necessarily, but you can build things with it in order to have fun or to facilitate entertainment.
Whatever you want to call it, Roblox is a global sensation. More than 100 million users play it every month. That's even more than Minecraft. With its colorful characters, it's especially popular with younger kids, many under the age of 13. But it's not just kids playing.
So I could go into this one space that is very much Minecraft-like, or I could go into here, where an area where sex and violence, shooting, guns are actually the primary reason for engaging.
Charles Palmer teaches interactive media at Harrisburg University. He says the biggest danger in this game and others like it, exposing your kids to things you may not want them to see.
Simulated violence, simulated sex, simulated rape. You know, a lot of these things are happening on these platforms that people are unaware that it's happening.
In fact, there are reports of children's on-screen characters being attacked physically or sexually. Palmer says this virtual problem can have real-life consequences.
This is something that we are going to find in the next decade or so. People are going to be traumatized by things that happen to them in a virtual environment. And we're going to have to treat that exactly the way we treat a physical abuse.
Another issue with children so young playing these online games, they become friends with strangers and reveal personal information. You can turn off the online settings, but Palmer says that's not enough.
You may not have had the talk with them, is the talk about internet safety, the talk about what to share with other people.
That's something Elias's mother, Casey, has had with him several times.
I don't want anyone else to interact with me because it might be too dangerous, because there might be grown-ups on there trying to make me do stuff.
My big look on the internet is that kids these days, it's just part of their life. So you have to explain to them what's going on, not pretend it's not happening.
It's not enough anymore to just sit your kid in front of a game and let them play.
When they were kids, they didn't have any of this stuff, so it's kind of confusing for them.
Confusing or not, Palmer says you have to be aware.
If you're talking about the safety of your child, or you're talking about the actual activities that they're engaged in, spend the time.
Be open and honest with your child. Don't be afraid of it. You can't keep your child safe from everything. So education is the best thing to do.
James Crummell, ABC27 News.
Thanks to James and Elias. He's pretty smart. Well, Palmer says games like Roblox do a good job of shutting down inappropriate content once it's reported. But there's always new stuff to be on the lookout for. Parents should do their research before letting their child play these games. There are websites to help you do just that. We have a link to them on our website, ABC27.com.
And still ahead tonight, fighting the opioid crisis by targeting individuals who helped fuel it. Fighting the opioid crisis by punishing doctors who help fuel the addiction epidemic. Just last week, federal prosecutors in Philadelphia saw one of their cases come to a close with the sentencing of Dr. Spiro Cassis. The psychiatrist gave opioid prescriptions to addicts who paid him cash. Prosecutors said as many as 45 patients a day would line up outside a back room in his office, shell out hundreds in cash, and in return, Dr. Cassis would issue prescriptions electronically to their pharmacies. The 66-year-old got 4 years in prison. He will also pay out $1.4 million to settle a separate but similar lawsuit, and he's agreed to never again obtain a license for prescribing opioids. If you have a loved one who needs treatment for opioid addiction, this is the number to call: 1-800-662-HELP. A medical professional will answer, will help get you or your loved one into rehab and help you figure out how to pay for it.
A new study finds reducing salt could reduce the risk of heart disease. Heart disease is typically caused by high blood pressure, which is often triggered by high sodium intake. Researchers found the more people reduce their sodium, they lower their blood pressure. This is for people who have hypertension and for those who aren't even at risk yet.
More older Americans are smoking marijuana. That's according to a study in the Journal of the American Medical Association. It found the number of people 65 and over who smoke marijuana or use edibles has increased twofold between 2015 and 2016. In 2006, less than 1% in that age group reported using marijuana.
Well, some teams in district championships, others looking to punch their ticket to the Giant Center. Our Ali Barubi joins us with high school basketball highlights coming up after the break.
And don't forget to tune in when you wake up. The Daybreak team has all the developments from overnight, plus weather and traffic that you need to get your day started. Join Allie, James, Amanda, and Brett from 4:30 to 7 every weekday morning.
District basketball championships begin tonight inside the Giant Center. Plenty of marquee matchups coming this week, but perhaps no rivalry more intense than this one. Camp Hill against defending district champs Trinity. The Rocks have won the district over the Lions twice in the past 6 years. To the third quarter in a good one, Trinity up one when Jake Perry gets some space and hits from beyond the arc. Lions lead 35-33, but he's not done there. The hot hand takes it coast to coast and finishes off the glass. Camp Hill takes a 4-point lead. That's when five-star sophomore Chance Westry makes an impact off the kick out from Ali Zangari. Westry hits from distance, but Perry, unfazed, drives to the rim, finishes on the reverse, and Camp Hill retakes that lead. The Lions' big man countering Trinity's size underneath on the baseline. Connor Trumpy gives the Lions a 49-46 lead. Fourth quarter, the Rocks pull it together. First, the ball movement to Zangari on the triple from the wing gives the Rocks a 2-point lead. Then Westry in transition fools the defense for the easy lay-in through contact. And how about a little insurance here? Ben Patton kicks it out to Marcus Beckett for the straightaway tray. The bench loves it. Trinity, your 3A district champions. The seniors 4 gold medals, 3 over the Lions, 76-68 the final.
If you think about it, we've played them in the district final 3 out of the last 4 years. And this is the second year in a row we had to win 3 times against them. That's hard to do. I'm going to be the first one to admit that. But to our kids' credit, they got it done, and I'm very proud of them.
So congratulations to the Trinity Shamrocks, 7 district championships in a row. York Catholic's run to the District 3 Class 2A championship has been impressive, albeit they only had 1 game to get here, but it was against top-seeded Steel High. The Fighting Irish, down 20 with 3.5 to play, came all the way back to win in overtime in those semifinals and make it to the Giant Center tonight against Millersburg. The Indians, no slouch, the second-best team in the Tri-Valley League. Second half tight game, Millersburg's Devin Kinzer picks up the and-one call, followed up by Tate Etzweiler's spot-up triple. The Indians up 5 in the third quarter. Final quarter of play, York Catholic gets to work. Preston Bokel, the fadeaway jumper off the glass to make it a 2-point game, and he follows it up with a 3-ball from the wing to keep York Catholic alive, just down 3 points. Back and forth to the end, Millersburg responds from beyond the arc. The step-back long ball puts the Indians up by 1, but Bokel goes back to business. The easy layup gives York Catholic the lead. He finished with 11 points, 11 boards. Final 10 seconds, Millersburg has a chance. Tight defense from the Fighting Irish, known to be a little scrappy. The Indians' Chris Bingaman sends up a prayer. Off the back iron, York Catholic hangs on to win 47-46 to capture the 2A district championship for the first time since 2007.
I'm just so proud of our guys, the fight that they had to get to this moment. And then, I don't know, that I looked up at the scoreboard. We were probably down 7, 8 points at one point in time. Going into the fourth quarter, we're down, and the guys just never gave up. And that's just a testament to their character and what type of young men they are.
As a freshman, I dreamed of this moment, and to be able to do it as a senior with my guys, it's a great feeling. It's a great blessing.
So congratulations to York Catholic, your PIAA District 3 Class 2A boys basketball champions. In the girls 2A championship, top-seeded Linden Hall faced 3-seed Steel High. The Rollers opened strong. Bradley Cross in the paint for some early points, but Linden Hall dominates this one from the jump. The Lions' Janeda Jordan for the easy lay-in. Then on the very next possession, the sophomore on the steal, the fast break. Jordan finishes with the lay-in. The Lions of Linden Hall from Lidditz, your first district champions of the week. They played the early game this afternoon, 73-53 over Steel High in the girls' 2A finals. In 5A, Northern looking to make the district boys championship with a win over Muhlenberg, game tied at 52, but Ruben Rodriguez pulls up for the jump shot to win it 54-52. The Mules head to the Giant Center for the championship, but the Polar Bears will get to play in states. The top 9 teams in 5A get in.
It's not March yet, but the madness is here.
It has
Good
begun.
stuff. Thank you.
Thanks so much for being here. Jimmy Kimmel's next.
Join the Daybreak team at 4:30. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.